Broads.
Hello, broads. Welcome. Bekah and I are in separate bunkers.
Yeah.
This is so weird. What's going on, man?
I don't know, but I feel like you have some semblance of normal since you're recording in the studio, even though it is your backyard.
That is very true. Broads, Bekah and I have now, as you would guess, even though I will say I've been seeing a lot of podcasts who are still recording together with a bunch of people in a room. And I'm like, hey,
really?
Fans of you guys, but you guys need to back it up. Got to get that social distance on. But broads, as you could guess, Bekah and I are at our own homes. We are Skyping in.
We're under a shelter-in-place order. Technically, Mayor Garcetti's calling it a stay-at-home order.
Oh, okay.
Not shelter-in-place.
I know officially, what was it, as of yesterday, that, like the beaches are closed, parks are everything's closed. So
beaches? They closed the beaches?
They closed the beaches in LA. Yeah.
Damn, I wonder if
there were major like beach parties going on.
Oh my God.
Speaking of that, your girl's starting to go a little crazy.
I'm starting to lose my goddamn mind.
I'm starting to go a little crazy. Granted, so thankful for my home, so thankful for my family, but I'm coming in a little hot today. I'm feeling a little hot.
It's so funny because we normally get like a farm box, and then actually it's a really long, stupid story. But basically they told me like it didn't show up when it normally would. And so I was like, oh, we don't have any produce. And I called and they're like, yeah, nope, sorry. We like oversold all our boxes. You're not going to get anything. So I was like begging Grayston. I'm like, please, I'll be the one at the grocery store to go to the grocery store. I nominate myself.
Pick me.
I nominate myself.
God,
and so then I went. And then it was so stupid because then my farm box came the day after because the guy on the phone didn't have the right information. So now I have double the radishes, double the oranges, and now I look like one of those freaking panic hoarder people.
Oh, no.
Have you had to go to the grocery store at all in the past week?
I did go to the grocery store a couple days ago. It actually was really quiet.
It was mellow too when I went also. And like everything was mostly stocked.
It was relatively stocked. Minus all the cleaning supplies and the toilet paper. Again, for some unknown reason, the toilet paper, but also and then diapers.
Like the meat and eggs.
You know what? It feels like people are getting packed on with their protein, thinking we're about to do a world war situation.
It's the keto people.
All the keto folk in LA and Long Beach are really getting their gains on. We're trapped inside. We're pumping iron. We're eating raw eggs and meat.
Pumping iron. I'll tell you. I know, I walked up and there was this giant crate of avocados and I was like, guess no one's panic buying avocados anymore.
Where are vegans at? They're calm. The vegans are centered.
They're eating
calm.
Grass in their backyard. I don't know. Anyway.
They're meditating. But again, so just going to apologize ahead of time. If I'm a little feisty today, I'm in just one of those moods. I'm in one of those moods, feeling a little trapped, a little short at the husband today. My neighbor about 5 days ago took up drumming. And so I'd like to apologize if you hear any sort of beating in the background because he's doing it at all hours of the night, all day and all night.
You like never really appreciate a good drummer until you have a bad drummer living next door. I've experienced it at one point in my life and my heart goes out to you.
And honestly, I'm God bless him. He is keeping indoors, and I appreciate that for all of our health and safety. But also, like, lay off for maybe an hour or two, just for an hour or two. But I guess 10,000 hours makes it perfect. So he's chipping away.
Maybe order some insulation. What are they called? Maybe get some soundproofing. Get a soundproofing setup going.
Yeah.
Send him over some of those foam things, Jess.
I'm gonna start doing like paper airplanes over there. Well, probably has my germs on it. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I got to find out his number. Anyways, broads, we digress. We hope that you are all staying safe and healthy during this time. And we're just recording this a few days before it comes out. So I don't think anything.
Hopefully the end of the world hasn't taken place yet.
Yeah, I hope not. But a lot has happened, like bachelor wise. Colton got COVID.
Oh, we talked about that last time, didn't we? Oh, no, me and Grayston talked about it.
No,
oh,
we
yeah,
never talked
speaking
about
of
it.
which, Speaking of which, Grace and I recorded what might be the worst podcast episode ever the other day. Like it got off to such a rocky start, and we were still arguing literally today, 2 days later, about the advice for people. And I was like, you weren't taking into consideration the first half of her email where she clearly laid out how she's been compromising her standards in the past. Like that was literally the whole thing. But we did talk about Colton getting corona.
Okay, it has to be released this episode. I'm extremely excited to listen to it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna, it's one of those things where like maybe I'll listen to it back and it won't be that bad, but somehow I just don't think that's the case with this one.
It's just gonna be a little wild. It's gonna be a little wild, but that's okay because we're feeling a little wild in quarantine.
I mean, it's hard to be trapped with someone that you love. It's hard to be stuck indoors with someone you care about. Am I right?
Like, you know what? Love them so much. Not all the time.
It's hard.
Nobody loves someone 24 hours a day.
It's also hard to be with the mans who are out of work, and we're both in that same boat.
Yes,
as I'm sure a lot of you are.
Both of our mans are out of work for the foreseeable future, and they're both worker bees. So this is probably making them a little bit insane and a little stressed.
Yeah, stressful as hell.
Yeah, Evan is, trying to create things for himself constantly, and he's buzzing around the house like a bit of a
I'm
maniac.
gonna make my own tour.
I'm just like, I'm going to tape you to the couch in 5 minutes if you don't chill out.
I will sedate you.
But yeah, so Colton, it came out that he has corona, but I just saw that he posted earlier today that he's feeling a lot better.
Yeah.
And that most of his symptoms, the ones that were bothering him more, have slowed down, so that's good. I saw Garrett has it as well.
Shut up.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's just so many people that it's popping up,
I'm sure more of us have it.
Yeah, probably. Also, everyone in Bachelor Nation is now doing Instagram live videos where they go live together. Yes, TikTok, but I mean like where everyone from the Batch Nation is coming together and doing like live Instagram videos together, like dialing someone in. And when I turn on Instagram, it's literally just like 15 Bachelor contestants live with each other. It's out of control. And I can't keep up with any sort of drama going on with that.
Well,
it's too much.
Did you see the thing today about Connor?
I did.
I just saw that like before we started recording. Apparently Mike and Connor were on a live together, and Mike was asking Connor like, so what's up with Madison? And apparently the tea is just that Connor slid into his DMs, but a source says it's purely platonic.
Well, I'm going to say this one. I thought that Pete looked like Maddie's dad. Connor looks just like Madison's dad.
That's real.
Like the spitting image of. So I wouldn't be shocked. And honestly, if I think about the two of them together, it makes sense to me.
I see that as well.
Maybe it's going to be a Paradise thing. If Paradise ends up happening.
At this point, it's like, are they going to send Pete to Paradise? I mean, but here's the thing. They're going to be so fucking off schedule because, okay.
It's going to be crazy.
Normally they're filming Bachelorette right now. Paradise normally films like very last week in May / first week in June. Obviously they can't, COVID aside, they can't do Paradise until they finish The Bachelorette.
That's very true.
So at this point it's looking like Bachelorette won't happen till minimum June.
So unless they make The Bachelorette like shorter, if they make a short season out of it.
But even so, I don't even think they'd be able to start till like beginning of June. I'm pretty sure. True. I mean, we're already out through all of April for the stay-at-home order. I'm sure that's going to be extended into some portion of May. Mm-hmm. So
I heard 12 to 18 weeks.
No. Bro, the funny thing is, I was reading something today about like they were basically like fuck celebrities who are like, come on guys, we can get through this together. Like you have a fucking 16-room mansion with a massive pool. Like what about us in our Kylie's? What about our 800 square foot homes? Like people with 4 children in a fucking 2-bedroom. They're like, we will not survive like this. We will not survive this. What are you talking about? Oh my God. What were you saying, Kylie Jenner?
Did you see Kylie Jenner keeps posting about it? And granted, very grateful that someone who has such a big platform is telling people to stay home, especially with her younger demographic, because they need to know that.
Yes.
But she did this whole series of posts like a week ago where she was literally lounging like in this like fur chair.
In front of every one of her pools. All five of them.
A sexy dress with 1,000 bottles of wine behind her, like in her insane living room. And she was like, everybody, it's going to be okay. I've done this before. We're going to get through it. And I'm like, you have a private chef there for sure. You got a personal driver. Like,
they're all quarantined at her house. All of her staff has to stay on her property.
Your property is the size of, a small state. So I feel like potentially
for them, I'm sure it's a fucking vacation. They're like, I don't have to do any appearances.
Yeah. People who are like celebrities who are going constantly, it might be a bit of like all right, everything's canceled, versus the people who are working their asses off, who I'm so grateful for right now. Oh my God.
They're like, I'm just going to Postmates. What's the sushi place? Sort of fancy sushi place. I'm just going to, no, enough of that too. Oh, I'll just be Postmating Nobu. It's no big deal.
Honestly, when the ahi arrives, it's not quite as fresh and sharp, but like, it's okay. We're going to deal. We'll get through this.
I'll send
together.
Pedro to go catch an ahi off the coast. There's ahi in Malibu, right? Meanwhile, here we are. Here we all are. So anyway, who the fuck knows what will happen with The Bachelor? Because even if they make it a super short season, let's say they finish... The earliest they would finish recording Bachelorette would be like the first week in July.
Yeah.
The earliest. And then if they went right into filming for Paradise After, they still would not be able to release the season till like September, October.
Yeah, I don't know. Because like I said, I heard the 12 to 18 weeks, but at the same time, Trump came out either today or yesterday and was saying
that's bullshit. I saw that.
He's pushing for Easter.
They were talking about that on NPR though today. I was listening to it, and they were just like, no, like the science is not like, no, that's literally not going to happen.
Yeah, you never know.
I think he just wants people not to panic. So yeah. I get that, but
I just don't know. I don't even know what to think anymore, because I remember, what is it, about 2.5 weeks ago? I was like, no, it's not. This isn't going to affect anything.
Oh, literally. Our cousins had a wedding in Cabo planned for end of May. And we're like, we'll just buy them and get trip insurance. Like, I'm sure. And no, they had to cancel now. Thankfully, we didn't buy the tickets. But
yeah. Well, this Love is Blind episode is insane. And I'm so excited to recap it. But wait, before we dive in.
Okay.
No. Now, are you sure?
Yes. I'll hold it. I'll pause.
Okay. So Broads, if you have a kid in your life in any capacity, child, grandchild, a niece, nephew, cousin, you're going
especially
to
if they're stuck with you right now.
Especially if they're stuck with you right now, you're going to want to listen to learn about our favorite art and science subscription box, KIWICO. KIWICO is the ultimate tool if you're looking to entertain and educate the kids in your life, and you may be surprised how much you love the crate as well. It's so much fun to do with your kids.
Yes. I can definitely speak to that. Ruth loves her KIWICO crates, and it's really cute because I can open them up and do a whole little unboxing with her, and she has so much fun. But I have just as much fun playing with the toys as she does. We get the Panda box, so hers are just like little toys specifically geared to her development. But then there's projects for older kids too. And they utilize real engineering, science, and art projects. And the crates are tailored for each age to keep your kids challenged and engaged. And the best part is the crates come with literally everything you need. Everything. So you don't have to dig through your drawers for, scissors, glue sticks, etc.
etc. Yes, all the things. Well, if you follow me on Instagram, you have seen probably my last KIWICO crate I did with my daughter, where we learned all about wind and other weather patterns through fun activities like this interactive weather chart and a wind-powered car, and she had so much fun. I'm counting down the days right now to our next delivery. I can't think of a more perfect way to educate and entertain kiddos during this quarantine, honestly. Parents, I see you. We're in this together. Are we going crazy? Probably. KiwiCo will entertain your child while simultaneously educating them. And I know so many of us are anxious about our kids' education during this time when there's a pause during school and preschool and all that. So I'm super grateful for KiwiCo. With no commitment, you're free to pause or cancel your subscription at any time. There's no reason not to give it a try. Also, hey, if you don't have a child but have a friend, this would be have a friend with a child. This would be an amazing gift that you could bless them with during this time.
So agree. And KiwiCo redefines play with hands-on projects that build confidence, creativity, and critical thinking skills. So there's something for every kid or kid at heart at KiwiCo. And you can get your first month free on select crates or get a crate for a friend or loved one at kiwico.com/chatty. That's KIWICO.com/chatty.
All right, so let's get into this.
Let's go.
Okay, I do have to say before, I found out that a lot of people probably know about this, but that there were numerous contestants who had successful relationships that we never saw.
Who got engaged, who blah, blah, blah. Yeah, who they just
And do you know who one of those people were?
Who, Rory?
Rory.
See, that's the thing, though. You can only highlight, like, so many couples. If we have, like, 9 couples we're following.
Apparently, Rory was with one of the women, but they didn't actually get engaged at the end, and that's why they didn't go to Mexico afterwards. But apparently, I think they got engaged afterwards.
So I don't know.
But then he posted on his social media, I guess, something like, "Well, we were together for this many months, and then they never showed us on Love Is Blind, but she ended up leaving me for another guy from the show." ... And he posted that, tagged her in the photo and posted it on social media.
So
Rory
I don't know.
is brutal.
Savage Rory. I don't know if you guys know this or if we talked about it before. I can't remember that this was filmed in 2018. Fucking November 2018.
That shit's wild.
That's a long ass time ago.
Yeah. So if any of the couples are still together now, it will have
made
been
their first year.
They really did. They made their first year, which is crazy. So I'm so excited to find out at the end, who or if anyone is still together.
Can you imagine being on the show and just being like, is this season ever going to air? Ever? I mean, glad I found my person, but is this ever going to become a thing?
Yeah,
I bet little did they know it was going to be fucking Netflix.
Blow up century.
Shit. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I like the show. I'm not that into the show.
Really?
Swear.
I'm in so
and I'm
deep.
not trying to be because I saw some comments too where people were like, all right, I'm not super into the show, but I'm going to listen to the recaps. I'm not trying to be contrarian. I just was maybe it was also just this episode because I felt like the scene, the meet for the first time was super snooze fest.
I felt like this episode was crazy.
What?
Yeah. I was so thrown off.
I was literally just kind of taking notes, but also on my phone and I don't know. It doesn't have me right now.
Okay, I'm so off the deep end for this, and it's literally killing me to not move forward. It's making me crazy, especially how we left it, where they're all in Mexico and they're at the same hotel, and they don't know that they're at the same hotel.
I'm sure the shit is going to get. I'm sure
and I'm
that's going to get.
Are they
nuts.
about to all hang out together, and are people going to swap partners?
See,
I don't know. This, I feel like this shit's going to get weird really fast.
That I will probably be into once it gets to that place.
This episode, you finally saw a little more of people's personalities, and I'm thrown off. I'm excited. I don't know. I have all the emotions. Specifically, there's 2 storylines happening that are really lighting my flame right now. Damien and Giannina, I am so hyped to talk about. And then the Jessica Mark situation, I am just I got a flame underneath.
They're all pretty interesting. But I think it's when you jump back and forth. I don't know. The Bachelor, it's for The Bachelor for me, it's I have to either watch with a fine-tooth comb or not watch at all. I can't really do in between. But then this show to me is sort of if you watch Marriage at First Sight or 90 Day Fiance, like I can kind of put it on in the background while I'm doing chores. It was hard for me, even with the 55 minutes, to sit through dedicated focusing.
I literally was stopping every 2 seconds to take notes.
Okay, well then I'm excited. I'm excited to do this recap. But I just wanted to give that perspective. So if you broads are on the same page, you're not alone. But yeah, I have a firm belief it's going to get crazy.
I think I didn't think that I was gonna like this show, so I think maybe that's part of it too. Also, I have literally like a cheerleader. Like Evan is so wired on this show right now. He is pacing. He is like he is so agitated through the entire thing that I feel like the energy is wearing off on me, and I'm watching this like. Just agitated.
Have you guys watched 90 Day Fiance or Married at First Sight?
I haven't watched Married at First Sight, but I love 90 Day Fiance. Ev can't get into it. He's like, it makes him too uncomfortable to watch. He feels sad for the people constantly, and he gets it makes him feel sick to his stomach.
Yeah, there's some losers on that show, like for real.
It's just like when you see people getting duped, he can't handle it, and I'm just like, this is so entertaining to watch. But he's like, he panics. It's too much.
Married at First Sight, you guys should then, after this season, I think you'll like it. I need to
dive into it.
I like it too. But anyway, okay, so...
All right, so let's talk.
Let's talk about how it starts out pretty much like as if I thought the cringe couldn't get any worse with the box proposal. It just stepped up the cringe to level 3,000.
Level 3. Like, this woman... The box proposal, she was like, oh, I see you and I raise you 50. And I really did not know where it was going because the type of music that they attach with Giannina is strange. Every time she speaks, they have like menacing or like hyper music behind her. So you're kind of like, is she about to break up with him? Is she about to try to hit him? Like, what is going on?
The funny thing is that she started out for me as like, one thing I don't believe in is roles or labels. And I'm like, you're literally about to get labeled as this man's wife right now. That's what you're agreeing to, you dumb bee. I don't know why I, through this episode, suddenly started hating her.
I have very strong
more than
feelings
Amber.
About... I have very strong feelings about Giannina. I think that I think she's cray, but I think she's extremely entertaining.
I think she's a nightmare to be with. That's what I think. She's going to turn into it.
Watching her gives me unbelievable anxiety. Like crippling.
She makes him stand up. She's like, I want you to stand up.
And then she goes, you need to stand. He's like, I'm standing. And then she proposes to him. And literally when she said, I do whatever I want, and what I want you to do is stand up, the music was so menacing. I'm like, is she about to murder him? Like, I don't understand where this is going.
She's going to wait until their sex life, you know? He's like so pure, and she's going to be like, no, I don't believe in rules or labels. You think you can fuck me? I'm going to fuck you. Stand up and you bend. We gotta get there.
We get some glimpses of their dynamic, and my goodness, yes. Well, he's like, she proposes to him. He's bawling. He's like, oh my God, the box worked.
They're like, goodness. I'll marry you.
It's just like, what is happening? I think part of me thought like, oh, she didn't want to be known as the girl who had the box proposal. So she's like, okay, I'm going to pick.
She made that up spur of the moment.
on the spot. I'm going to propose to this guy. I got to do it. So yes, they are engaged. And then we see Barnett. And Barnett is saying that he feels strongly towards two people. But he's trying to avoid conflict. And I like how he's explaining this to Mark.
I'm like, did they know the whole time that they were talking to the same person? It kind of seemed like it.
Yeah, they had the conversation, I think, in the second episode where at one point Barnett came in and it kind of got like put out there a little bit that he's also talking. And then Jessica told Mark that it's over with Barnett.
Right.
So he knew that Barnett was one of them.
Right.
And Barnett says that I'm confused in the head. That was one of my favorite moments. But Mark's telling him that, like, hey, you told Jessica that you could see her being that you could see yourself being her wife, but you weren't honest. He's like, communicate. It sucks, but you got to do it. And I'm just like, sweet, 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 sweet Mark. You have no idea what type of lack of communication is about to hit you sideways. Because last episode, him and Jessica end it with a very, like, at least it seemed like a question mark, right?
I mean, this has got to be editing. I also saw someone message me saying that they all propose on day 10. All of them. So the editing makes it look like they're proposing on like day 5 or 6, and apparently it was all on day 10. So I guess like a lot has transpired since she comes in and she's like, babe, hi.
Babe.
I'm like, Mark, do not do this. You will regret it for the next couple of years. I would say the rest of your life, but the relationship's not going to go anywhere. So
there's no way. Also, when he walks into the room, he's like, babe. And she's like, babe. And he said, oh, the first time I heard your voice, I just knew. And I'm like, you mean the, wait, what?
The voice? Baby voice?
Babe. And this episode, especially once they were in Mexico, the extreme voice shifts were unbelievable. It was 2 completely different human voices coming out of her throat.
I know. It's
2
like
completely different voices.
She's got demons in there. She's got demons taking over at different points. You never know which one you're going to get.
It's literally like when you see her when she's all dolled up, she talks like this. And then when she's in her casual comfies, she talks like this.
That was a really good impression. Also, you definitely know she's one of those people who says she has a drunk alter ego, which we all say, but you know she leans into it like really hard. Where she's like, you never know what Kelly's gonna do. She's like, Kelly might just fuck your best friend if she gets too drunk tonight. Like, scary.
Oh my gosh. Dude, the alter ego is so real though. You fully nailed that shit. Fully. And now I'm chomping at the bits because I'm gonna say Love is Blind. If you do not actually bring these people together, if we do not see moments of Jessica fucking meeting Barnett for the first time, I will die if I do not see that. And all I need is a drunk Jessica meeting Barnett for the first time. I need it so bad.
No, what's going to happen is she's going to meet Barnett and then she's going to get super drunk because she's going to want to break up with fucking Mark. Bro. Also, do we know, I mean, we know Mark is short, right?
Well, when we see them meet each other, they're almost the same height. Like, he's like probably an inch taller than her.
He's probably like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I don't think he's not like that short.
No, but you know she's one of those girls that also has in her Tinder bio like 6'1" or over only.
For sure. She has. When we saw her day 1, she was just like, well, they have to be athletic. They have to look athletic. They have to. She has a laundry list for sure. She probably only dates guys who have a certain hair color, only dates guys with a certain eye color, a certain 401k. There's probably a lot of expectations, and Lord knows, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure she was talking about bigger, like, muscular wise, but also I think, like, I have a feeling Barnett's, like, several inches taller than Mark.
No, he definitely is. And also, Mark definitely told Jessica day 1 that he was, like, a fitness he's a personal trainer. So she probably pictured him being this, like, really tall, jacked dude. Yeah. So when her and Barnett was going down, you know she was completely just like,
well, I'm going to go with the personal trainer.
I guess I'll go with him. Barnett and I have chemistry, and Barnett has that sexy frat voice. But, like, Mark definitely is, like, the personal trainer who's probably, like, 6'3". Oh, probably. Lord. Well,
so when he proposes, she collapses behind the couch. And I'm
collapses. And we're all waiting, going, and obviously he's panicking. But I think in that moment, I don't think that was out of joy. I think that was out of, like panic.
It was the least convincing yes I've ever heard when she finally did say yes. That didn't like put me at ease. I was like, this is a premonition if I've ever seen
She was like this. She like collapsed and then she was just like, yes, of course.
She's just like, fuck it. I said I was going to get proposed to, engaged at the end of this, so.
She acted like when I would bring an art project home to my parents that was horrible because I'm a horrible artist. And they were like, and I was like, isn't it so good? And they're like, yeah, it's so good,
They're
honey.
like, yeah, of
It's
course.
so good. You're an amazing artist.
Of course.
That's 100% what that energy was.
And I have to say, it's for most of these couples, it's so cringe watching them say "I love you" back and forth behind the walls. For some reason, it's just because they're like, "I love you so much." They're like, "I love you."
I think in the first last week's episode when we were seeing Cameron and Lauren say it and I believed it, and then I saw Kenny and Kelly say it and I believed it. I was down, and then all of a sudden this episode I'm watching these couples do it and I'm like, I don't believe these couples. So all of a sudden I'm like, I don't believe in the process anymore, but I think that it works for some people.
Well, this cracked me up. She said I tried to push him away, but he wouldn't let me. And I'm like, okay, rewrite of the narrative, I guess, because that's definitely not what happened.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Literally, you came crying back to the pod after Barnett broke with you, being like, baby, please, I just had to explore, and like, it's over between Barnett and me. It's over. I ended it. Please, I just want to love you and see you.
Like, in what universe is that her pushing him away and him not letting her?
Jessica writes her own tales. Now, Jessica is the type of girl who says my truth constantly. And you're just like, but that's just not the case. Because sometimes it's just not true.
Is a lie. So.
Your truth is bullshit. I couldn't believe it. I mean, if these two are still together, I will be so baffled. If these two are still together, I would be willing to bet my life savings right now on the fact that it just it didn't work.
No, there's no way.
There's just no way. There's no way. And if they do make it to the end and they do get married, that marriage only lasted for a month.
No, like you said, when she sees Barnett, like, it's over.
It's over. It's gonna be game over. Oh God, I'm so uncomfortable just thinking about it.
Speaking of, Amber's talking about being in love with Barnett is a roller coaster. LC is tripping too. They're both tripping. Who's he gonna pick?
LC's throwing shade about how exhausting Amber is to be around.
And how he's just gonna be a completely different person than she thought he was. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, whatever. Barnett, meanwhile, still thinks he's on The Bachelor. And is like, my heart is being, he's like, pulling his final rose monologue. He's like, my heart is being pulled in two different directions.
He's crying. He doesn't want to hurt someone.
I never expected to fall in love with two women. He's having his Bachelor moment. Peter has nothing on him.
Nothing. And honestly, he probably is thinking in the back of his head, I'm doing the right thing because at this point, I could be choosing from three women right now, and at least I let one go.
Like, this is way better. So,
and by the way, the zoom. Did you notice the zooms this episode? When Barnett's like walking down the hall, and the camera is this close to him.
Oh, I know.
And then when he's talking to Amber, and the camera is like a fisheye lens on her. What is with these horrible camera angles? Hey,
the show is on a budget. They didn't know they were going to get picked up by Netflix. They got interns working on this shit.
I'm like, people, did you put one of those clip-on things to your iPhone that does the fisheye lens and you just got an intern
Jess, literally, what they edited out is that they actually have the other contestants filming. Like, that's Rory that's running down the hallway filming.
Rory for sure volunteered to do all of them. He's like, let me in. Come on. I got to catch this. Damien, proposal.
I got to catch this emotion.
Barnett, guy. You deserve everything in the world. You deserve it all, Barnett.
Zoom in on the tear.
Amber.
Got it.
Look away from me. Look away. Pander.
For real though, that shit was crazy. Well, tell me straight, real quick. Did you think Elsie or Amber? Who did you think he was picking?
Amber, for sure.
Yeah, okay, same.
I always thought that he was going to be between Jessica and Amber, so I was surprised that Elsie was even that dramatic of an option, because he always kept saying we have so much in common, but it never felt like, and he even said, he was like, Elsie and I, like, we've got a thing and it'll last for a long time, but it's not like that passion like Amber and I have. Yeah. And I see Barnett as the type of guy who's going to go with the one he has passion for, not necessarily.
Even if it might burn out, yeah. He's like, we're here for a good time, not a long time. Okay? I want to make that clear.
Barnett says YOLO every single day.
Yeah, he does, especially when he's like 4 fireball shots deep.
Oh, definitely one of his favorite liqueurs, for sure.
Right?
Well, Elsie is not pleased. We don't really know. Yeah,
she's pissed.
She's pissed. I mean, and I get it, because if we recall, Barnett was telling all these women that he was like completely like, I'm going to marry you when we get out of here and we get married and we go on our honeymoon. Like, he was talking that way. And it seemed like, at least to like from Elsie's perspective, that she was like, how could you have said all those things to me and say this to me now? So it seemed like all these women, Jessica and Elsie, were both really convinced. All three women were convinced that Barnett was going to choose them, which makes me think he really leaned in hard to the, like, I'm going to propose to you.
Oh, yeah, because Elsie was like, I would never do that to someone else. You're not the person I thought you were. I sort of feel like she knew it was coming, though.
Yeah, she seemed a little, I don't know. I think part of me maybe thinks she knew it was coming, because she seemed to obviously, like, afterwards when she had her interview and she was saying, like, what am I, unlovable? Like, this always happens. That was super sad. I was just like, Elsie, you're gonna get plenty of DMs after this. You're gonna be fine. But because she seemed so cool when her and Barnett were hanging out, and she's super cute. But that's the part of me, like, that thinks that she was ready for it, because maybe this tends to happen for her.
Well, I definitely think regardless that he made the right choice, like, for both of them, for all three of them.
Barnett and Amber are literally crafted in the same cauldron. They are meant to be together. These
for real.
two.
For real. Like, and this is actually somehow one of the better proposals.
Yeah, even though he's like, he barely proposed. Like, he literally is like,
which,
oh, fuck,
I kind of liked
you marry
it.
me? Me too.
He was like, you're the only one who makes me feel this burning fire in my heart. Will you marry me? And I was just like, that's how you fucking do it, actually.
Yeah.
I was into it.
And yeah, he literally goes, oh shit, Amber, will you marry me?
I was like, honestly, that's my style. I'm into that. I like that.
What a Romeo. What a modern day Shakespeare. But it felt like Barnett. And it felt like Amber.
Right.
It would have been really weird if all of a sudden Barnett would have been like, from
poem.
the first moment I heard you.
Yes.
Oh, a poem. My God. Yeah. It would have been weird.
It didn't feel contrived at all. It felt super natural. And, you know, that's the one thing I will say, even though Amber later on the episode said that, like, oh, things are kind of awkward right now, blah, blah, blah. They seemed like the least awkward out of everyone.
Oh, 100%. Also, she said that for a moment, and I think she was saying, like, it's a little awkward to, like, have had this deep emotional connection and then be physically with someone. She's like, but, and then she had like a big but and said something else, like, oh, but we are getting it on, or the connection is, she made some comment, because I right away was like, oh shit, and then she followed up with something else, because their chemistry was like through the roof in person.
Yeah, because, like, obviously I stan my king and queen, Cameron and Lauren, super hard. But honestly, like, even they didn't have that kind of, like, spark that I saw with Amber and Barnett.
They were definitely more like awkward, and Barnett and Amber were just like clawing at each other, because like they're so real life couple. Like, they're so real life, meet in a bar, like her sorority met up with his fraternity. Or like they were at a
tailgating party or something.
Yes, their friends both have boats and they're at the river and they are both drinking Bud Light.
That Yes, they're both on their fucking pontoon boats on the 4th of July, and they hit it off.
Yes,
and then
he loves wakeboarding, and she caught a glimpse of him, and he was catching one, and she was just like, oh my God, that is my man.
Granted, they are the couple that's going to break up 14 times every year and get back together. But still.
Wow, it'll be passionate.
But when they're together, wow, unstoppable. Now, okay.
Oh my
Damien
God.
and Giannina.
Okay, so I was very curious about this meeting because I thought that she was not going to vibe with his physical appearance. I don't know
still
why.
think he's not. I still think she's not.
You still think that. Okay. I couldn't quite gauge it. Because then when they go to Mexico, she's like wanting to jump his bones in 5 seconds. Or is that just because it's been what was it, 426 days since she had sex?
I think she's trying to convince herself that she's into him. I think she's trying super hard because she's smart enough and self-aware enough and also hopeful enough to be like, okay, like I just got engaged to this guy and we did have a connection and okay, like we're going to give this the best go we've got kind of thing. Like, I don't think she's that into him.
Yeah. Well, it made me that's what I thought. And then it made me even more sad when he starts off this segment saying that he has insecurities about the way he looks and he doesn't know what she's going to think of him. And my stomach, I just felt like, sick to my stomach. And I was like, I sure hope she doesn't I don't know.
Yeah. And I actually think the biggest problem is not with his appearance, although I don't think she had like an instant attraction to him. I think the bigger issue is with his energy. And
I completely, yes, 100%. I think he's a handsome guy. It's an interesting type of energy. He, like I said, he's a goofy guy. And he's also, even though
not only that,
he's
a timid guy.
Yeah, he's a little more soft-spoken, I guess. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying though. He's has kind of a softer energy. He's a big guy.
He's not aggressive in any kind of way.
No.
Positive and negative. Okay, so here's the thing. He says, this is funny to me too. He starts off saying before they meet that she's a spiritual soul. And I'm like, I think these are mostly your feelings, but our feelings were confirmed that like he thinks she's way more like emotionally mature and spiritual and actually like closer to maybe the level that he's on right now in his life than she is.
And I felt pretty validated about that from the difference of when they've met, like how he felt about her, then when they were in Mexico and they were trying to have a romantic dinner and she was like giggly and drinking and wanting to have sex and he was trying to have these like emotional conversations with her.
I know.
And, yeah, I think he thinks she's different. And I think they're both probably somewhat thrown off and probably going to be somewhat disappointed thinking that they expected someone else. And I don't think it's going to be a physical thing. I think it's going to be an emotional thing.
I think they'll also be like, I think they'll both be annoyed by each other. Like irritated. By him being like, you're not taking this seriously. And her being like, why can't you fucking just make a move and man up and chill out and be fucking fun.
Or her, being like, Damien, you're so boring. You're so boring. I can't do her voice. She's got a hot, raspy voice. Damien, you're so
she sounds
boring.
like I'm like, does she permanently have strep throat? Because she sometimes has a hot, raspy voice, but then sometimes her voice will completely cut out mid-sentence where she's like, I like him and Ida. And then her lips are moving and no sound's coming out, like, and she's cracking in and out. Talking? I'm like, what? Is this how her voice is all the time?
I'm obsessed with her voice. I could listen to her talk all day.
I like it when she's cracking in and out, it hurts my vocal cords. But I like the sexy raspy. It's just sometimes it's so raspy that she's cutting, like literally cutting out like she's lost her voice.
Maybe Giannina is a big jewel smoker.
Oh.
I could see her with a jewel.
For sure. She's got like 3 of them.
She definitely gives me Instagram girl energy. Like I definitely would imagine before the show started. I haven't looked at any of the people. The only person I've looked at is Rory's because he wasn't. I then saw that he wasn't in the Mexico situation. So I was like, okay, I'm going to look up Rory. And that was the only person that I saw.
I know. I don't really. No, I'm not going to look up Giannina's. I don't want to look up any spoilers.
No, don't look because you might see if she's with someone else or with him. Yeah. Resist.
I know I'm not. So... Yeah, I felt like she was disappointed immediately, and I also felt like she wanted it to be more like romantic, passionate with their first meeting.
Yeah, well, she was saying too, before they even saw each other, she said, I just want to stare at him. I want to process him. And I think she's a little crazy, don't get me wrong, but also the music behind her when she was saying, just want to stare at him and process him was literally like, dun, 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 like crazy music.
Like you expect her to be like, I'm going to poke out his eyes and wear them.
Exactly. Versus if Lauren would have said, I just want to stare at him, I want to process him, they would have had really beautiful romantic music.
Violin.
And we'd be like, oh, that's so sweet. She just wants to take him in, drink him in. But yeah, I mean.
Okay, he said, first of all, he's fine with the physical situation. He said her skin tone is so different.
What was that about? What was that about? I don't understand.
I like at that point, I'm like kind of taking notes casually, and then I'm like, hold on, pause. These motherfuckers have the exact same skin tone. What are you talking about?
Her skin tone is different. And then
his skin tone is so different, and I like different because different is beautiful.
And then he's like, and then when he says, and I love different because different is beautiful, and then he goes, wow, why do I keep getting so deep? This girl brings out a lot of stuff in me. And I'm like, oh no. You think saying different is beautiful is really deep. And this is where we're going to have a problem, Damien. We're going to have a problem with you and Giannina because even though I think Giannina's an Instagram girl, I think Giannina is going to be a lot more deep than Damien is in this weird way. This is this weird thing. I think Damien's more serious and is maybe like more reserved. And I think Giannina is maybe more silly and young, but I think she also is more deep and emotional than he is. And
I think she's just smarter than he is. Point blank.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, probably.
Like, serious does not mean you're smart at all. She also kept grabbing his... Dude, they're just... I'm sorry, they're cringe city. She kept grabbing his jaw, and he was sort of like jerk his head back a little bit when she would do it.
He hated it.
And then she goes, Dame... I was like,
yeah, Damien, Dame. And then he goes, Dame. She's like, yeah, I like when I call you
He repeated it back. He was like, Dame. And it was like part of him died behind his eyes. Dude, they're
when she kept grabbing his face, it was so uncomfortable.
I was moving backwards.
Oh, I hated it. And every time she'd grab his face, all I could think about is like, those old like movies from like the Middle Ages, like based in the Middle Ages, and it would be like a person who'd like grab an animal's mouth and like grab it and it was about to bite and be like, yeah, but that'll
like
do.
Like the horse.
Yeah,
the horse
just
looking
grab
at
the
its
horse's
teeth.
The jaws. You go, let me check it. The teeth. That'll do. And just like toss the horse's face aside. I was like, stop doing that to your fiance. Please,
bro,
I beg you.
No, I hated it.
I'm going to call you Dame.
Damien, Dame. I'll give you 10 shekels for this one. Shekels, what the fuck? Okay. Before we get into Barnett and Amber meeting,
which I actually I liked it. We'll get into it.
But now a word from our lovely sponsors.
Listen, Broads, pretty much most of my adult life I have had trouble sleeping thanks to anxiety, and let me just say, hell hath no fury, like a woman not getting enough sleep. I think that's how that phrase goes. Seriously though, I am the worst version of myself when I don't get enough sleep or good enough quality of sleep. And let's be honest, the anxiety has been pretty real the past few weeks, which makes me so thankful for my gravity blanket, my weighted blanket, because now sleep troubles are just a thing of the past for me. I've been able to sleep soundly through all of the stress, and I know it's just because of my gravity blanket for real. I'm obsessed with this.
Okay, so not only is Gravity Blanket the only blanket proven to improve sleep quality, hello, that's a really big claim that they get to back up. Gravity Blanket uses deep touch pressure simulation and gives you this sensation of being hugged, which who doesn't want to fall asleep feeling like you're being wrapped in a hug? And Jess and I actually have, we've both been using Gravity Blankets for a long time before they ever sponsored the show. And so we're very happy to tell you about them.
I lecture everyone about Gravity Blanket. I am their biggest fan. And they come in 15, 20, and 25-pound varieties. And their king and queen size blankets are now back in stock. So there are plenty of options so you can start getting deep, more restorative sleep right away. For me, the 20-pound blanket has made all the difference. I pair that with my weighted eye mask, also from Gravity Blanket, and I'm having the best sleep of my life. Oh my gosh, it's everything. All my anxieties, all my sleepy anxieties, just I get weighted down and poof, I'm out like a light.
So you can learn more about Gravity Blankets at gravityblankets.com and use promo code Chatty to get 20% off your purchase today. That's gravityblankets.com and use code Chatty to get 20% off the blanket that everyone's talking about.
Okay, so I'm a big believer that fine jewelry should be two things. One, it should be for every day, not just special occasions. And two, it should be fairly priced for every person and every budget. My favorite jewelry brand, Majori, feels the same way. So it's pretty safe to say it was love at first sight for me.
Y'all, I always get DMs being like, where's your ring and your earrings from? If you're watching on the YouTube, you can see. Or if you've seen my Instagram, you'll know what I'm talking about because I have these little gold, like, croissant style earrings and a matching ring. Majori! And their pieces are so buildable. And if you want to wear one simple gold ring, like me, or 7 rings from their collection, I actually have 2 other rings from them. They always look cohesive and chic AF. And they also drop brand new designs every Monday, not just seasonal drops. So there's always something fun and new to look at, dream about, mentally style, or order. And if you need help along the way, you can also get a digital one-on-one appointment with a Majori stylist to help you put together and style pieces and answer any questions you may have. And it doesn't get any easier than that. And I love Majori's pieces. It's so hard to pick just one thing to buy. You might end up getting 10 things, but you got our code for that.
They're my most favorite. The biggest bonus for me is that all of their pieces are 14 karat solid gold or sterling silver, so you can be sure they won't scratch or wear out easily. And I am admitting right now that I am lazy with my jewelry, so I do not take it off often. Usually this means I wind up with scratch pieces or green fingers from my rings, but my Majori pieces have been, I literally have worn these for months straight. Literal months straight, and they still look brand new. My most fave piece that I never take off is my little pinky ring. I have it on right now, and it has a little bee on it, and I have it on literally 24/7. And it looks like I store it in a glass case every night because it still looks good as new. I love them so much. They're my favorite jewelry brand, hands down.
Head to majori.com/chatty or use code chatty at checkout for 10% off your first order. You spell that MEJURI.com/chatty for 10% off your first order. And to make the deal even sweeter, you can get free shipping on all orders to the US and Canada until April 20th. Plus, easy returns and a 2-year warranty on all of your finds. Can't beat that.
All right. So we now have Barnett and Amber meeting. And number one, Amber is, I think the only way to describe her is she's a lot. She's just a lot for me to handle. Like, love them or hate them, I think they're good together.
Very.
And I think they're going to work. But Amber, I watch it and I'm tired watching her after like 5 minutes. So I understand when LC was making the comment about her exhausting her. I feel like I have more of an LC energy in my spirit. So watching Amber makes me want to take a nap immediately.
I'm, and I think she's growing on me. Do I want to spend time around her? No, not really at all. But seeing them together is making me like both of them individually more.
I think that they maybe they're just a good fit. And I think watching love is always appealing, whether you like the people or not. It's always nice to see two people who have found happiness. And it seems like they might have found that in each other.
Exactly. It's nice to see things work and to see them go smoothly because that's all we kind of want, right?
Yeah. And when they first see each other, by the way, it's the moment that I realize that they 100% look like brother and sister.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if you told me they were brother and sister, I would completely believe you, no 100%, questions asked.
100%.
Yeah. And that sometimes works. Get a lot of couples who look alike.
Well, do you know it's a biological instinct? Because your biology makes you want to protect people that look like you. Because, interesting. So, in some ways, like, preferring people that look like you is just a biological instinct.
And, well, Barnett and Amber both definitely think they're, like, Barnett thinks he's a total stud. Amber thinks she's a total dime piece. So,
well, you knew before them even seeing each other, like, they're 100% going to be each other's type. They're 100% going to find each other attractive. Like, they hit it out of the park, looks-wise, for each other.
And the second they saw each other, I mean, it was game over.
That's
and
the thing. They had the most instant spark and the most instant, like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, both of them were just like, I mean, I love Lauren and Cameron, but it wasn't quite the same thing where it was like, fuck yes.
Yes, because they like it was so fuck yes. Barnett looked up at Amber first and was so overjoyed. Clearly, the tits were looking tops on Amber. The outfit was everything. She made the right call. And then the second she looked up, she looked so happy that she looked like she was about to pass out. She just screamed.
That kiss, that was the best. That was the best first kiss.
I know.
It was the best first kiss.
I know.
For sure.
She
forced a ring on his finger. He's like, hell, fuck yeah, let's force that ring on my finger.
She's grabbing around his neck, and she's just like, they're both beaming. He doesn't know what to do with those flowers. Who gave the man flowers? Why would you do that?
Know. I was literally wondering the same thing. I'm like, did he ask the producers for them? Like,
they were all also individual because they all had an individual cap on them on the base.
So funny.
So they were all like single stemmed roses that were bundled together in like a dozen.
That is so funny.
It was either a conversation that maybe they had previously, but part of me is convinced that Barnett and Amber never talked about roses.
No.
So I feel like some weird like PA was kind of like, here, take this.
Roses.
And he's just trying to like,
or kind of cute. Barnett was like, I feel like I can't go in empty-handed. Like, what do I give her? Like, what do I bring her?
Well, he gave her a ring, right?
I know. Yeah.
Which, by the way, it was a diamond. So clearly, Barnett.
How do you know it wasn't that Swarovski?
Well, okay, but it looked like a diamond. So I'm just assuming that Barnett maybe didn't know that they were going to provide rings.
Where are these girls getting the rings, though, too? Because, like, then Amber had one and then didn't. No, I guess Giannina didn't have one. But I'm like, where is this jewelry coming from? This is a low-budget show. We know that by the camera angles.
Is this a new thing that when people get engaged, the guys get the rings as well? I like that. But I feel like when I got engaged, it was only the women who got the rings, which, by the way, always bothered me.
Right, because then it's like property, you're claimed.
Yeah, I was just like, why the hell do I have to? I mean, I liked it, but I was like, why do I have to wear this ring and you don't have to wear anything?
Why do I have to wear this hunk of diamond on my finger?
Why do I have to wear this rock? But for real, I felt like that wasn't happening. Maybe it was my very small circle that wasn't.
No, I don't think that's. I don't know anyone who does that. He wears a ring when they're engaged.
I like that. I like this thing that love is blind. That love is blind is starting. The men also have to wear the tag.
The claimed.
Exactly.
So they both just gush over each other for a while. Blah 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 blah.
They gush. He's saying that she's the most freaking beautiful girl he's ever seen in his life. I did think it was really sweet when he like leaves her and then he runs back to give her flowers and he like throws them at her. And I was like, their dynamic is sweet.
They're good.
They like each other. Yep. They really do.
All right. Now, Mark and Jessica meet, and I'm just like, I'm not looking forward to this.
Now, on the other hand, Mark and Jessica meet, and my anxiety is skyrocketing.
She looks great in the dress. I like the dress.
Her breasts are out and they are screaming. She looks incredible. Mark literally is like about to dive bomb into them. He is so psyched. She keeps talking about in the interview over and over and over again before she meets him, the 10-year age difference she cannot get over.
She's obsessed with the age thing.
And I'm just kind of like, I don't understand if this is such a deal breaker for you. And I don't like, if you don't want to be with someone 10 years younger than you, totally fine.
You know what, Jess? She's probably just nervous and she's using it as her out. So that way, if she doesn't like the way he looks, etc., she can be like, it's just not going to work. He's 10 years younger than me.
It's a very easy out. Well, we see her later in the episode using some outs that are quite keen.
I mean, I don't really have anything to say about their meeting. I mean, she says, like, he's not her type. Oh, no, she says that later on, actually. I mean, there wasn't actually much to report. She didn't look that stoked. He did.
She did say one thing that I was like, this feels a little offensive. She said, I found the one and it doesn't matter to me at all what he looks like. If he's a troll, I literally don't even care. And I was like, this to me is a little bit of a glimpse into Jessica's vibe. Like, being on camera, I probably would never be like, would say to a camera, even if he's like a troll, I wouldn't care. It just feels a little weird. It went from being like Jessica, who's super like, hi, like, I just am looking for my soulmate, to be like, even if he's a troll, I don't care. It was just, it's Jessica. Every episode is scaring me a little more, making me a little more nervous. I mean, yeah, he, like you said, nothing much. He's over the moon about her. Mark is obsessed with Jessica. He is in love with her.
I mean, he's not super immature, but he's definitely like naive in the sense that he's not. Yeah.
Well, I think, too, he made some comment where he said later on in the episode that he has always been like a very sexual, passionate person, but has never had a relationship where there was the emotional piece as well. So it definitely feels like this is a new thing for him to feel emotionally connected to somebody. So I think there's probably an excitement and newness there where it's like, I've never emotionally connected, you know, with another person before, which... You know.
Well, speaking of physical connections, they're all headed to fucking paradise.
They are headed to paradise. I know. Weren't you watching that going like, oh, it looks so nice?
It looked amazing.
It looked
so way nicer than Bachelor in Paradise.
Yeah, definitely. I also think that I'm learning to be better at appreciating things, even though we've only been quarantined for like a little over a week. Or I guess it's almost 2 weeks now. I don't know. But now all of a sudden seeing that, I feel like if I were to watch The Bachelorette right now, I'd be like, oh God, look at that view.
Like, you'd be like, wow, Cleveland is amazing.
God, if I could only get my ass to Cleveland.
God, I'd kill for a vacation to Arkansas.
Oh, well, yes, they are.
No, it definitely looked nice. And then we get the bomb drop. They're throwing them all together.
Well, all of a sudden, boom, we get Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey. And I'm like, I forgot that you guys, where'd you guys go?
Yeah, I was going to say they virtually haven't been hosting like at all.
Where did you go? We haven't seen you at all. Also, I don't think your role, no offense, is necessary on this show.
Absolutely not.
I feel like maybe Love is Blind. I mean, we know that it was recorded in 2018. Maybe they thought this was going to be such a low-end thing that they're like, maybe if we can pull some celebrities like Nick and Vanessa, that more viewers would
some
show
real
up.
Big-time people.
Some big names. We're going to pull some big names and maybe we're going to get some viewership because they'll post about it on their Instagram and we'll get a lot of views. Because I'm just
Does 90 Day Fiancé have a host?
No. Right?
No, and it doesn't need it. And neither does this show.
I mean, like, someone like Chris Harrison is vital for this show, for The Bachelor, right? He's always there. he's always interacting like one-on-one with the leads. Nick Lachey and Vanessa haven't been interacting with anybody at all.
No, or commenting either. Because like on Married at First Sight, they have like the experts, and the experts will be like, this is going to be a difficult like transition for these couples to go through. And they're sort of like commenting on that kind of thing. Yeah, no, they haven't been doing any of that. They literally basically were there to tell us that they're all going to be together in paradise.
And I was like, thanks, guys. A little caption, or maybe like Lauren popping in or Cameron popping in and being like, well, we're all in Mexico. Or them all saying it together. And then like
or just even like a preview where one of them's like, wait, holy shit, everyone's here?
Beautiful. Producer right here.
Boom. Okay.
Just saved you Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey money.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how much of the budget went to them? Because
I have a feeling that Nick Lachey demands a lot of cash.
Oh my God. Did you see someone's comment on Chatty Broads? They go, I'll have you know that Vanessa, I saw her in not one, but 2 Hallmark movies.
Dude, whoever said that, I forget who. You had me rolling. That was so funny. God, some of you broads, your comments kill me. I was laughing so hard.
Okay, we gotta get into G and Dame.
Okay, so G and Dame, we are seeing these couples coming to the resort. We are finding out their fashion sense outside of the pod. G immediately puts her hat on Dame. He is her coat rack right away, and he's fine with it. Okay. And they get into the room and she's drinking, and I'm nervous for some reason just watching this. I'm like on edge watching her drink, and normally I'm just like, enjoy your vino. And when she's pouring the wine, I'm like, I just don't know if this is a good idea for you guys. No. Right now.
She is trying to drown out his face and her feelings. That's actually what is happening. In my notes, I just keep putting here and there, oh God, she's not into him. Oh God, she's not into him. And her giggling, her nervous giggling was just really, really unsettling.
He's pouring his heart out to her. And my favorite G move is as he's pouring his heart out to her, she takes a big bite of the salad. Which, things aren't going top notch when someone who you are having your first interaction with physically is telling you how much they love you, and you're continuing to like, now, trust me, I love to eat my foods, but on my first few dates, if someone's pouring their heart out to me, I'm too nervous. I'm not avoiding the food, but I'm like so concentrating on what they're saying. I'm not just like, yeah, like keep going. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you. I don't know what I was about to say, but yes, 100%. I was like, I had something I was going to say, and then I was listening to you and totally lost it. But yeah, no, bad sign. Oh, I was just about to say, like, yes, and you know that this is just the beginning of them getting fucking annoyed with each other. You know that shit is going to get on Damien's nerves, where he's going to be like, why are you shoveling salad into your mouth as I'm trying to lay my heart out to you?
I'm getting G, I'm getting really deep with you right now, and you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention to me. Stop with the carbonara. You need to put it down. I'm trying to talk to you, and I feel like you're not hearing me. Damien, I open up to you constantly.
He's going to be the one being like, I got us a workbook to go through together.
Oh, Lord. It feels like there's going to be a lot of intentionality on his end, and she's going to be the one who's like, relationships should happen organically, and you're trying to be too intentional about this.
Well, she just pops out of nowhere then.
Oh,
435, and I'm just like, oh no.
At first, I laughed, and then I was like, if you're joking about this sequence, I think this is funny. But if you're not joking, I find it a little alarming that you know the exact number of days. Like, I get it. When you're horned up, you're horned up. Like, God bless. But then, again, if it's a joke, I loved the next comment. But if it's serious, when she said, and I can't read her sometimes, she said, day 325, I went to the beach to remember how it feels to get my ass smacked.
No, Jess, this is the thing. This was filmed in November 2018. This is when those, she is just quoting those stupid fucking tweets that everyone was tweeting at that time. You don't remember this?
No.
Wait,
what is this?
You don't remember this? It was like a meme that was going around forever where people would be like, day 62, I stuck my toothbrush like too far back on my tongue so I remember what it felt like to be choked. And people were doing stuff like that. You don't remember that?
Oh, I think I saw like one or two.
Okay, everyone would. There was like dozens of them on the internet at the end of 2018 where it would be like.
I think maybe 2018 was a dark time for me. I went a little dark on the interwebs.
We were literally recording the podcast when this was being filmed.
Is that when 2018 was? Oh, yeah. Then no, never mind. It was just
actually,
out of touch.
That's really crazy to think about because when they were filming this, it was actually just when we had started the podcast.
Oh my God, Destiny.
Crazy. But that's actually like, that just shows the span of time.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. All of the episodes we've recorded, you've had a babe. That's pretty crazy.
Well, I was thinking at the beginning of this, I was like, cultural relevance, like a year and a half ago. And then when she said this, I was like, oh my gosh, that fucking meme that was going around Twitter in 2018.
Oh, so then she was trying to like joke about that. And he, of course, didn't get it because he's like me. He's like me. He was a little bit older and he's just like, okay. Davey and I are both like, okay.
Is she joking? I don't know what's happening.
I can't quite gauge the situation.
Either way, like I knew what she was referencing and that made it even more cringy. I was just like,
that makes me feel even more cringy because I thought maybe she created that on her own and I was a little bit like, oh, that's kind of funny if you're joking, but I can't quite tell if you're joking or not.
No, she definitely read it on Twitter.
Then he tells her that he's like, I'll move at your pace. The sex isn't important. Okay. And
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, all right. And then G says to the camera that she just wants to tear his clothes off. And then when they ask about dessert, she's like, I'm not hungry. And he's like, well, what about dessert? And she's like, I am your dessert. And I'm getting flashbacks from last episode when Damien was like, I am your gift. And I'm like, are they perfect together? I am your gift. I'm your dessert. And then I wondered how much they said that to each other while they were having sex that night. Like, how many times did Damien say that he was her gift while they were making love? And how many times did Giannina say that she was his dessert?
It made me so uncomfortable because, like, she just, like, wanted him to make a move. And he's just like, I'll go at your pace. And I'm like, bro, read the fucking room, first of all.
She's begging for it right now.
Like, and then secondly, like, I think that...
I respect a respectful man, but when it's very clear that, you know.
But it was also double cringe because, like I said, I think she's overcompensating for her secret lack of attraction that she doesn't want to admit to herself.
Yes.
I really think that's what's going on.
Well,
so when she's
it's like you've been in this situation. I mean, I'm sure you've been in a situation before I have where, like, there's someone who, for example, there was a guy that I was dating, like casually dating, not boyfriend, girlfriend. And I really liked his personality, but I wasn't attracted to him physically and I just couldn't help it. And it wasn't like actually his looks. It was just, there was just a thing like we've talked about before, like a smell or a way that I just had the ick a little bit. And then I ended up having sex with him because I was hoping that maybe once we had sex, that maybe something would change. And guess what? Really didn't.
I think that's exactly what's happening. I think that's exactly what's happening. And also, like, I think she's kind of drunk. And I think she's also, Jess, it's that times 10 because you're like, I just got engaged to this guy. So I'm supposed to be wanting to jump his bones right now.
I know.
Oh, my fucking God.
The pressure.
I would be throwing up in the bathroom like every 20 minutes.
Some people just, you know what? In that sense, you gotta respect Jessica, who's like, I'm not attracted to this guy. So I'm just gonna...
She's like, I'm gonna put on my sweats and my face cream and be like, hey, just so you know, don't touch me or I will scream rape.
You were gonna sleep on the balcony. I'm going to sleep in the air-conditioned bedroom. And if you cross this line, you're gonna have a problem, mister. Good night, fiance.
Charges will be pressed if you cross over that threshold.
I'm just letting you know. All over this hotel. There's a lot of people on site.
Mark, I swear to God, if I even smell you within 10 feet of me, I will scream. It's so sad because that was like really her.
Dude, Jessica's ick is so through the roof. You can read it screaming off the TV.
You're right. Okay. I do kind of respect it because she's just like, I'm not into him. I'm just going to be real about that.
I can't handle it.
And I'm totally a Giannina in the situation where I'm like, I'm all drunk. I'm like, he's sexy. I mean, granted, the only way I'm going to be able to have sex with him is if I'm fucked up right now, which is why I'm in 4 glasses of champagne deep. But
Dame, do you know what a truffle is? No, but a chocolate truffle. You're sexy. That was literally
my
that
pussy.
Was a conversation. I am your chocolate truffle. I am your dessert.
Lick me like a cannoli. I keep thinking she's Italian. I'm sorry. Giannina Gibaldi. Like, cannolis.
Cannolis, what can I say?
No one answered that. Not that I saw either. Nobody answered about her. I thought someone would explain about how Giannina Gibaldi is a traditional Venezuelan name, and no one came forth with that information.
Yeah, no,
I'm still confused.
Please let us know. I would like to know as well.
Is this a fake backstory?
Maybe when we meet her family, if her and Damien get that far, maybe when we meet her family, we'll get an explanation.
Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe her dad's Italian and her mom's Venezuelan.
It's probably what it is.
Literally that didn't even cross my mind before now. Okay, I'm dumb. Now, Kenny and Kelly, who we barely saw anything of this episode.
I know. Well, Kenny and Kelly are practically in matching yacht wear, and I am alive. Like, you guys packed this? You guys packed the same outfit. Kenny's shorts were the exact same as Kelly's matching set. She looked adorable. It literally was like when you order an American Girl doll and then an outfit that matches for yourself.
I expected them to have a little dog, too, with like a little vest.
Yes, it was perfect. She wants to have sex with him, but not today. She thinks that she could take it. They should take it slow. She is on her tummy on the bed, kicking her legs.
Yeah, but they're wine tipsy, and you know they're about to fuck because they're. Yeah,
I feel like more than some smooching and cuddling is going to go down because
Agreed.
they now. I felt a little nervous for a second because during Kenny's interview, he did make the comment, and he was like. I knew like whatever she was going to look like, I was into her. Like she was the one that I loved in the pods. But yeah, I'm very much physically attracted to Kelly. She's the most wonderful person I've ever been around. Her personality's infectious. And then he just kept talking about her personality. Mm-hmm. And I had 2 feelings because Kenny, I really like Kenny. Obviously, I love him. But I can't read entirely if he's trying to be a good guy by not just being like, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot, she's hot. Or if he's maybe not like super physically into her. I wasn't 100%. I couldn't quite read it. But then when he had the camera on the bed and he was like asking for a kiss, and I thought that they were really friggin' cute together.
They were really getting it on.
Yeah, part of me thinks that maybe he's just trying to be like,
gentlemanly.
Not be a Barnett, not just be like, yeah, she's fucking babe.
I agree.
And
I think he seems like a considerate person, and I also think he seems like a considerate lover, and I think that they're gonna have satisfying sex.
He is very attractive to me, and it's his energy is like, and even, I mean, God bless. The style is not for me. And yet and style is normally a big deal breaker for me. And even with some of the outfits that I've seen, I'm still attracted to him.
He seems very grounded, and I think it pulls in our air sign energy.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
But he's very grounded. He's very like. And he's very, and this is what I think Giannina is feeling lacking. He has like a firm masculine presence, actually. Kenny does.
Yeah,
and I don't think Damien does. Like in a sense of a traditional like firm masculinity.
It feels like Damien maybe doesn't quite know who he is. And Kenny seems like maybe he's grappled with his own self more than maybe Damien has.
Damien also just seems like uncomfortable with himself.
Yeah, like maybe Damien seems like he just recently started reading self-help books or going to like Tony Robbins things, and Kenny feels like he's maybe been through certain things and is like seen some shit and kind of knows who he is a little more just organically.
I agree.
You know? And I am attracted to him. I can't help it.
Cheers to them. Cheers
to them. Cheers to them. I really hope that they work. I really do.
Me too.
They're one of the ones who I feel like they will, but I also, there were moments in this where I was like, I think you're just being like a nice guy, but I hope that, I don't know. Before we get into Lauren and Cameron, do you want to take a quick pause?
Yes.
So are we stuck at home, broads? Yes. Do we need to just fill our bellies with chemical-filled orange foods? Hey, sometimes you need them. I've been enjoying some goldfish.
You mean those puffy orange foods?
Oh, my puffy orange foods. But it is important that we are eating healthy during these times for our immune system and all those things. And an easy way that you can get some healthy instant meals delivered straight to your door, no grocery store, is through Daily Harvest.
Oh, Daily Harvest. They deliver food you want to eat, but don't want to think about having to make right to your door. I can attest, I can't recreate their smoothies. I just can't. Daily Harvest
They're everything.
Yeah, and Daily Harvest is the easiest way also to just make sure that you're eating more fruits and vegetables, and they deliver thoughtfully sourced, chef-crafted foods that can be prepared in 5 minutes or less, sometimes like 1 minute or less. Mm-hmm. And there are more than 65 different options like smoothies, which I just mentioned, obsessed, hearty soups, harvest bowls, and overnight oats. And each recipe takes only one step to prepare, and there's room to make each your own by switching up the base liquid on smoothies or adding eggs or avocado or whatever you want to the bowls. I love it.
They also now have the bites that Bekah and I have talked about, and they have the chia bowls, and they now have these like pods that are like lattes and matcha. So, you know, now that everything is kind of shut down, if you're like, oh, I'm craving some of that, you know, that matcha or those like a latte, they have those options, which are amazing. And my mom's secret weapon right now is the strawberry peach smoothie. We make it at home with oat milk, and it literally tastes like sherbet ice cream, and Ember loves it for breakfast. And I love that she's getting hearty servings of fruit to start her day, whether we're at home in lockdown or out and about. Daily Harvest really is the easiest way to have a delicious and nutritious meal or snack for the whole family. And guess what? You can freeze it until you're ready to eat it. A great option to have in your freezer.
Go to dailyharvest.com and enter promo code Chatty, and you'll get $25 off your first box. That's promo code Chatty for $25 whole off your first box at dailyharvest.com. That's dailyharvest.com.
All right, so our king and queen, the lovers from the beginning, Lauren and Cameron, you know, they're super cute during this. They definitely seem awkward. I don't know if that's, you know, it's a
getting to know each other thing. Like,
I don't think that I can't imagine myself being like a Barnett and Amber in this situation. I feel like I would definitely be more like a Lauren and Cameron. If I found my person, it would just be like, I'm getting to know you in a very different new way. Like, this is very interesting and strange.
And suddenly very intimate. Like,
very intimate. We're all of a sudden thrown into a hotel room with flower petals or rose petals everywhere. And like, people are really hoping that we're going to bang. And I'm feeling a little bit of pressure because there's also cameras in the room.
Well, and she's saying that she wants it. And I'm like, okay, I actually believe it. And they're cute. They're it's cute. Funny because they're joking about his chest hair, and that was cracking me up because she's like, I've never dated a white guy. And then she's like, I just thought you'd have like a bush on your chest. It's so funny.
They were
to me.
super cute. She, by the way, when they were sitting on that step at first, she is so gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
I am
easily one of the most beautiful women there, for sure. I am
so attracted to Lauren and Kenny. Those are my two. I am so attracted to Lauren and I am so attracted to Kenny. I don't know what to do with myself. And it was killing me because Cameron was just like scooching in so hard and just kind of like grabbing at her gently. And also, Cameron's posture is too good. It's too perfect.
He works out a lot, definitely. Doesn't it seem like?
He definitely seems like, yeah, he has very nice physique. And I think that's probably part of the posture. He also seems like, he is a robotics, like AI engineer or whatever. And you know that he has one of those standing desks.
Oh my God, for sure.
Because he knows it's better for his lumbar system. So he has one of those standing desks.
He's funny because now that you say that, I'm seeing like he's probably just a very particular guy in general who probably has like all these like little gadgets around his house to like make his life easier. He's like, yeah, I programmed my Roomba to do only this square footage here and blah, blah, blah. Like he's like on top of all his, I bet his house is so clean.
Now, this is what I'm curious about. So they say that after this, right, they talked about in like the chunk of time that they were going to meet in the pods. I don't remember them talking about them going on a vacation, but I do remember them saying then they're going to move in together, meet families, and then have a wedding if they last that long. Are they going to move them into a neutral home, or are they going to move into one of the partners' spots?
Good question. I can't remember how they do that for Married at First Sight because they definitely I think they move into a new place. That's on Married at First Sight they do.
It would make sense, but it would make sense to move on to like into a neutral.
They don't necessarily though. Sometimes they move into one person's home. I just
am interested. Are we going to see Cameron's home? Are we going to see Lauren's home? Are we going to see none of the homes? Like I want to see inside the people's homes so bad. I want to see into Mark's home, and I want to see like, what that vibe is.
I want to see into Jessica's home.
Well, I feel like we probably know what Jessica's home looks like. There's probably a lot of wine, many cabinets of wine. And she seems very particular, so it's probably
very
like
neat. Quotes and stuff and like macrame things.
Many quotes. Now, Mark could go either way because Mark,
But also I feel like Jessica could be like a crazy slob.
True.
That's why I want to know, because I could also see her place like kind of being a disaster with like makeup all over the bathroom counter and stuff.
Yes, like a trash can situation.
It's either that or cars. Like very immaculate like...
Oh, I sure hope that they show us the houses.
Me too.
Ugh. So yeah, I mean, Lauren and Cameron, they're beautiful together, and it definitely seems. She said that she's ready to jump his bones. It definitely seems like they're going to get down that night. We'll see if we get morning afters. I don't know if it's this like The Bachelor. Do we get morning afters? Who knows?
Now, Diamond and Carlson.
Okay.
Oh my God, this part was, speaking of uncomfortable, holy shit. I was tweaked at this part. I was like, oh my God, I can't handle it.
This part was so uncomfortable.
Okay, I mean, the banter at first, I was like, oh, cute. There's banter. Like, they're having fun. And then he said...
escalated like that.
He said, I would have punched it. And she was like, what? And he's like left. And she goes, watch your words. And he goes, come on, chill out. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was the... So, and Diamond even says this is a very different energy than in the pod.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's nervous or whatever. And it seemed so obvious. And we talked about this. The first episode, you and I were like, his energy, we're not a fan, blah, blah, blah. But then the second episode, he seemed to let his guard down and get vulnerable with her. It seems like we're back to square one. It seems like now that he's face to face with her, he's putting out that like very kind of macho energy.
Well,
that
he's
is off-putting.
Super nervous. I mean, like he's so nervous to the point where he's not even just doing the overcompensating macho. No, he's just like being a straight up dick. Because he like literally doesn't know. I mean, he was being such a dick.
He was being such a dick. And he said...
It wasn't even like first episode like dropping about how he's flying this and that. No, he was just being an asshole.
for literally no reason. And then at that one point where he says, "You make daddy feel good." And then she says, and she's like, "Oh, says something about, because his hat says daddy." And then he's like, "You want one that says mommy," regarding the hat.
And she was like, "When I have a child."
When I have a child, sure.
I like Diamond, actually. I really,
Diamond
really
do.
I
like Diamond a lot too. And then he says, "I'll get you one that says do not fucking touch." This is what I was going to bring up.
And her response, she goes, "No, I would not wear that."
I love her.
Immediately, no, I would not wear that. I was like,
she's just like, first of all, I'll wear the mommy hat if I'm a mother. And I'm not going to wear one of your hats that say don't fucking touch me like I'm your property, okay?
He's like, "What about Carlton's wife?" She's like, "Okay, fine, then I'll wear that." Yeah, no, and I do, and I like the way too, though, that she just sat him down and was like, "What is wrong? I know you. What is going on here?" So I really like her.
I really like her a lot too.
Okay, really now the real shit show.
And then she leaves to go to the pool. So it's so awkward. It becomes so awkward, by the way, that she literally is like, "All right, I'm going to the pool."
That.
And she actually leaves and goes to the pool. We see later.
Okay, now.
My favorite.
Yeah, she says
we're nervous.
He's not the typical guy I'd go for. And then she immediately goes into detail because she's like, "I'm normally with a guy who's bigger." Like
bigger. She emphasizes the
bigger. No, bigger. Bigger.
No, even bigger.
Bigger. Smash me. Envelop me.
It's just so, like, everything that's happening right now is making my entire body scream in discomfort because we see her talking to him in the hallway. Her voice is as high as ever. She's in a little dress. And the second they get into that.
Wait, did you see him wearing a fedora, by the way?
Oh, girl. Did I see? Like, okay, Jason Mraz, let's chill out for a second.
When in Mexico, am I right? Oh,
because
my God.
The remedy is the experience. This is a dangerous liaison. I'm like, Mark, stop. This isn't one of your fitness playlists.
No, he's probably going to bring out a guitar and be like, "Starts my toes." Oh, wait, that's Golden Gala. Whatever.
No, but he does have a guitar. I forgot about that. He took it into the pod, it seemed like, at one point. Oh, God in heaven. Mark, do not. Please, I'm begging you. But everything about this is
It's okay. He'll probably sing copyrighted songs and they'll have to cut it, you know?
Oh, very true. Very, very true. Well, everything about this makes my body hurt because her voice is high as ever in the hallway. She comes in immediately. He's trying to like come behind her and be all kissy. And he's talking about how like he's going to feel like a virgin again because he's never had this emotional connection. And, you know, he's so psyched about the fact that he's convinced they're about to make love. And she is unpacking and she's like, "Oh, you're going to be shirtless tonight?"
Dude, this shit sent me because she is immediately stripped down in this baggy ass gray t-shirt she brought just in case. Like, you know, she had some sexy ass lingerie packed. Like, sexy ass Friedrichs of Hollywood, like little strings across the nipples. Like, you know, this girl was prepared. And the minute she saw Mark, she was like, "I brought that gray t-shirt, right?" Yes, I did. Good.
Oh, the
because the makeup's off, the t-shirt is on. It's like they've already been married 10 years.
And if you need any goddamn proof, take the tape back and see how she's dressed in the pods. Even in the one scene where she is in pajamas, she's in full makeup, her hair is fully done. Imagine meeting the quote unquote love of your life and having your first night together and being like, "I've been dressing up in club dresses in these pods alone every night, but now in front of him, I'm going to take off all my makeup and wear this for our first night." Now, here's my thing, broads. If you make the decision that you're like, "You know what? I've met the love of my life, and our first night together, I want to be in my comfortable ass clothes. I want all my makeup off. We're not going to hook up. God bless. But you know what? And I support that with every molecule in my being, but that is not Jessica. That is not Jessica at all.
No, Jessica's like, I'm about to ride him all night long. I have 3 outfit changes planned. I brought my go-go boots.
She has a playlist already hooked up.
She has a separate suitcase for her lingerie.
She brought a lingerie suitcase. She has a swing with her. She has toys with her. This girl is ready to go. And let us not be fooled that if that was Barnett standing there, she would have her makeup on for the next 30 days in a row. She would wake up, run to the bathroom, apply it all, put lingerie on before he even woke up. Mm-hmm. Because that's her vibe. And so the fact that this is where we're at, and Mark, God bless Mark, is strewn with his shirt off, strewn laid out on the bed. He
doesn't even have like a bat. Like he doesn't have like, I don't know. It's not like he's just this skinny ass little dude either.
No, he's a fitness. He's ripped. He's got a gorgeous body.
No, you just know Jessica like literally only dates. She makes sure they're on steroids before she dates them. Like that is her vibe.
Well, she also made some comment, I think right before they met, that she was like, this is just, or maybe it was at this point where she's like, this is just such an interesting way to meet someone, because normally, like, you know, I'd make eyes with someone hot at the bar and then go up. And they're like, okay, that's how Jessica meets every guy she's ever dated. She's at a bar. She makes eyes with some hottie. She's however many glasses of wine in, you know, he's however many shots of Fireball in. And that's how they meet.
Well, this shit sent me because the line that she then pulls.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
She goes, you know, like basically people can get hurt when they have sex, when things get physical. So my preference is let's just not go there. And I'm like, savage.
I'm like, bitch, you are going to try to now you are messing with this poor man's brain, because he is going to, in his sweetheart, think that you care about him so much, and you care about your love so much that you're dying to have sex with him, but you don't want to make it complicated.
Oh, hell no. He's picking up on it so quick.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
He can't be that dumb. The t-shirt, the makeup, her attitude. He's got to be.
I sure hope that the next scene that we have is them waking up in the morning and her being like, hey, Mark, really liked our vibe in the pod. Obviously, this isn't for us. And I hope you enjoy your free trip to Mexico.
Well,
I'm going to go get my own room.
Like, she's probably going to break up with him, like, almost immediately. And then she's probably going to crawl back to him at some point, and he's probably going to take her back.
Now, for the sake of television, do I hope that it lasts a little longer? Yeah, because they're my favorite couple to watch right now. This is watching a science experiment for me.
I'm sure she's going to, like, end things and come back multiple times, more than once.
Oh, God. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. I'm sure.
Meanwhile, Amber and Barnett just have flaming chemistry in the hot tub.
Extreme opposite.
He's joking about Mark peeing, and somehow it's like kind of sexy and fun. Like
they're laughing. They're each other's dream person. They really are. I mean, it is, like I said, it is what it is. Love them or hate them. They found each other. I believe in their relationship. Do I agree with you that they're going to break up 1,000 times? Yeah, for sure. But their candle is bright. Their flame is bright together.
I think they're definitely going to implode, and I don't think they'll last. But I think it's just going to be because they're both too hot-headed and stubborn. I think they could actually have a chance if they could both get past that.
Do I think they're going to have incredible sex? Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
100%. And Jesus, sorry, everyone. My yawns. Someone called me out on my yawns for the last episode. And I'm like, bitch, I'll have you know that was like episode 5 that we had recorded in one afternoon. So fuck you. Just wanted to throw that in. They are 100%.
Was it last episode?
No, it wasn't last episode. It was the episode before.
Oh, I was gonna say last episode we recorded. Okay, yeah.
No, it was when we recorded on that Sunday.
4 episodes in a row. Yes.
That was a lengthy.
Yeah. I was jacked up on coffee. And guess what? You're pregnant, so you can't have 17 shots of espresso.
Dude, also, I'll just be so anxious. I'll be like terrified recapping the show. I'll be twitching.
Yeah, you can't even have any coffee.
No.
No.
Not when I'm pregnant. Not when I'm drunk. A little Red Bull vodka will keep me up all night. So yeah, and they're totally the couple that like jokes about farts, and they both think it's just so funny.
Yeah, he's going to, what is it called when you fart underneath the Dutch oven? He's gonna Dutch oven her, and he's gonna Dutch oven her their first night together, and she's gonna love it.
Yeah, exactly. She's gonna be like, "You're disgusting," and she's gonna be like, "He's my husband."
You're disgusting, and you're mine.
Yep.
Yeah, completely.
Yep.
Well,
all right. The meat and potatoes.
The meat and potatoes. Back to Diamond and Carlton. So this conversation. First of all, I'll start off by saying that I'm very interested to see, before I give my full analysis, to see how they handle it after the scene that we saw. So in the next episode, I'm very interested to see how this goes down.
It didn't go horribly.
No.
Like I thought it was going to.
I think there was something that she said in the situation that I, wasn't a huge fan of, but I thought overall that she was very gracious. I thought she handled it really well. Again, at least now I don't know what next episode's going to look like. But I felt
like it was pretty neutral. Like,
yeah, I feel like she definitely didn't freak out. She was processing it. And then also, on the other hand, I felt like, there were moments where I thought that he was explaining some things well, and then he snapped on her when I don't think that she deserved it. Like, she's,
No, he just doesn't know how to handle his own emotions sometimes and doesn't know how to process through what he's feeling. So, okay, so he's, he's basically leading into it saying that, like, he doesn't feel like she's going to be able to love him after what she's going to find out, blah, blah, blah. And I actually like the way he phrased it was like a really nice, actually like neutral way of putting it. He said, like, in the past, I have dated both genders. And I thought that was like a maybe easier to comprehend way of putting it rather than being like, I'm bisexual or whatever.
Yeah, I thought he put it well. I did feel like, though, before he even said that, it was hard because I feel like he was bolstering it with like I feel like there's no possible way a woman like you, as perfect as you are, as beautiful as you are. And then when she's trying to ask like what's wrong, he was just saying, like, he said, there's situations where people have abandoned me and rejected me. And she's like, there's nothing to worry about. He's like, no, there's a lot. You have no idea. You could leave me at any moment. And it was almost like and I get it because he's used to maybe this happening.
Yes.
So he's protecting himself, but it's also like setting it up like this isn't going to work. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I've definitely done it too. I've definitely done it where I've like lied to someone or something like that. And I'm just like, I don't think there's any way you can forgive me. And it's kind of almost like making them think it's going to be way worse than it really is.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
That
like,
was such a great tactic when you were a kid.
Totally.
When, like, you got a bad grade on a test and you'd come home and you'd be like, Mom and Dad, you're going to kill me. Please promise me that you're not going to get so upset.
They're like,
please.
Are you pregnant? And you're like, no, I got to see.
And then they're like, oh, okay, it's fine.
I mean, I think it works in relationships. Do I think it's like the best way to handle it? No, but I've 100% been there and just being like, there's no way we're going to make it through this. There's no way you can forgive me.
Yeah, and especially something like this where it's like there's absolutely nothing wrong. It's literally just like explaining like a piece of you that, yeah, but I agree. I liked the way that he put it. And her eyes right away got big and she's like, and you could tell they got big and then she tried to like control herself. And she was like, do you mean like male and female?
I'm like, what two genders did you think he was talking about?
Yeah, I'm like, what do you follow him? I'm like, yes, you have non-binary, but I don't know. Like, yeah, she was just like, I think she was trying to like make him say it. I think she wanted him to like say it.
Yeah.
So
she just looked so like, she just definitely did go like,
yeah.
And I think she was trying to like hide emotion because she didn't want to make him feel a certain way by how she was reacting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think she really cares about him and she doesn't want to upset him. And she saw how upset he was and how hurt he was, and especially when he made the comment about people having abandoned him and feeling rejected. like I said, I'm super interested to see when they discuss this further, if it's going to be like, I'm not okay with this, I am okay with it, or I was just thrown off because I felt like you and I had trust and you hadn't told. Like, I'm interested to see what she's most thrown off about in this moment, if it's the bisexual piece or the piece of like, hey, I feel like you are springing this on me and I thought maybe we were like...
Maybe a combination of both.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know a lot of women do feel like bisexual men, like it's somehow emasculating. And so I feel like that could be kind of like part of it, unfortunately. And then part of it, where she's like, I got engaged to you and I didn't know about this big important part of you.
Yeah. Well, then she says this, which is obviously the one thing I did take issue with in the on her end of the conversation is, you know, and it's a very typical thing that we've talked about this before, that she right away put out to him.
How
saying,
do you know I'm the love of your life?
Do you ever feel like you need to go date another man? And, you know, that's obviously like that typical problematic thing that always gets posed, like, oh, if you're bisexual, you're just attracted to everyone always. And, you know,
well, it's really interesting. Yeah. Like I hear this a lot with women talking about bisexual men, where they're basically like somehow more worried about him cheating. And I'm like, or something like that. And I'm like, bro, if you're worried about him cheating, it shouldn't make a difference who he's attracted to. Like, you should be able to trust this guy isn't gonna fuck anyone. Like, and I was literally just arguing with someone about this the other day, because they were saying like, well, I don't know, like, maybe they just still have curiosity. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure Grayston has fucking curiosity about other women. Like,
yeah, come on, it's
are you so naive to think that your straight husband doesn't look at anyone else and that only has eyes for you? But if he was bi, then he'd somehow have wandering eyes for these other men. Like, your person is either like monogamous and committed to you or not. It doesn't matter if they're straight or bi. And if you think they're going to cheat on you if they're bi, then chances are they're probably going to cheat on you if they're straight. Like, what?
Right. If you trust your partner and they're bi, it's the same as trusting a straight partner. Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
Like,
and it's like, well, you know, maybe if there's a situation in the locker room. And I'm like, yeah, well, maybe what if there was a situation at the bar? Like, you're trusting this person isn't going to fuck anyone. It doesn't matter if they're attracted to double the people. It doesn't make them more susceptible to being unfaithful to you or like not committed. It's so dumb. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, but me either. But I liked how you right away said that's the biggest misconception in the world. He answered it really beautifully. For men like me who are honest, I love people for who they are at the core. It's not about this, and he's like, you know, showing his body. It's not about this. He's just showing the genital
He's like, it's
region.
not about this. He whips out his dick.
It's about this. But I love the way that he right away set up, because he said too, for men who are men like me who are honest, it's like, listen, if we're talking about someone who's not
closeted,
faithful or honest, right? Or I'm not even saying that. I mean, like, even if like let's just say this entire
someone
time,
who's just unfaithful.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. It's
Point
like,
blank.
let's just say Carlton never told her he was bi. That doesn't mean that he's going to cheat on her with a dude just because he's bisexual.
Granted, I got cheater vibes from him immediately before I even knew he was bi.
Yeah, but that's just because of him.
That's neither here nor there.
But that's not a bisexual thing. It's like if you're an honest person, whether you're straight, bisexual, fluid, whatever you are, it's like if you're honest, you're honest. And if you're a cheater, then, you know, it doesn't matter like what your sexual preference
you're attracted
is.
to. You're going to find someone to fuck. That's not your partner.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
Totally.
And I loved how he said that. And he right away was like, it's a lot to accept. And she's kind of like, yeah. And he's like, that's when he's like, I'm looking at you and I feel like your eyes are so blank.
And, you know, she was just like, it's a lot to take in. And I thought she was really gentle with him. And, you know, she said, I just need time to think about this. And she was comforting him.
Well, because then he then right away, like, you know, he yells fuck and he like throws his hat. And it was just, it kind of came out of nowhere. And again, I understand this is a very sensitive topic, but it's just a lot to process, seeing kind of the ups and downs that are happening with Carlton, where we see him open up and get vulnerable, because he got vulnerable with her in this moment, and then he shuts down and he yells and throws something, and kind of like how he was open in the pod, and then all of a sudden they're in the hotel room and he's making those like super rude ass comments to her. So it's you know,
he has a lot of processing to do.
He's got a lot of processing to do. But I, like you said, she had her hand on his back and she was comforting him, and I felt like, you know, I felt like she was very gentle.
What more can you do in that situation, you know? Because at the end of the day, what you're seeing happen with him is internalized shame and past rejection and all this stuff that's bubbling to the surface. It doesn't really have anything to do with her.
Right.
I mean, of course, she said something that obviously was triggering for him.
Of course.
But, I mean, you know... I'm sure he expected the conversation to go worse than it did. But then, you know, even she's like, I'm going to need time to process. I'm going to go back. And he's like, just go. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm nervous to see the next interaction, because now that scene where you see Carlton getting a drink thrown in his face, and last episode we talked about where I was like, oh, maybe it was someone else. With this energy, I'm wondering if they have another confrontation.
Because, okay, to be honest, now that I'm seeing all this play out, like, I thought that she was going to have, like, a big issue. I don't think she's going to have such a big issue with his past and his attraction to other people. I think there's going to be a bigger issue with his attitude and maybe his inability to process through his own shit. And I think he's just a little bit emotionally immature. I think he has a lot of growing to do.
I agree. And I wonder if he's going to even give her a chance to process. Like, or if he's just going to be
like, if you don't accept me, then like, I'm out.
Like,
I'm out.
Right, exactly. Like, if you don't accept me right now in this moment and aren't 100% okay with it, then I don't want anything to do with you. Where she may need, let's just say she's never dated a bisexual man before. Like, maybe she's going to need some time, and maybe she's going to have some questions and need to process it, like, you know, whatever, because maybe, I mean, who knows? Maybe Diamond hasn't even met like someone who's fluid before. So maybe she's going to have questions and want to talk about it. And I'm curious, because of how defensive he is right away, if he's going to be in a place emotionally where he can handle any sort of processing.
I mean, even just like throwing the hat and doing the fuck thing. I know he's going through shit, but like,
yeah,
me just getting engaged to someone, I would be like,
I'd be nervous. I'd be nervous.
I'm seeing red flags going on, and the red flags have the least to do with who this person has fucked in the past or what gender they are.
That's exactly. It's not his sexuality. It's how he is acting right now.
I mean, it's how we saw from the beginning. Like, it's just a little bit emotionally immature, like the way that he's overcompensating for his insecurity by being like, I get pick of the litter, I get whoever I want. It's like, okay, we're not in 7th grade anymore. And just kind of like that peacocking and then breaking down, but then also like having these like he doesn't really know how to move through what's going on inside of him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, yeah. No,
it's going to take time for him.
Yeah. I'm interested. Also, speaking of Carlton, I was sent this by a few people. Apparently, you can catch a clip of him from 2012 on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kind of.
Fuck, are you serious?
Going after someone. So one of the housewives was being really rude. I guess Carlton works with like up and coming, like helps people get into like modeling and acting, and he works for like an agency, and they were doing some like modeling thing, and one of the housewives was on the show, and she was being really rude to the models, and Carlton like let her have it, but it all again escalated very quickly. Like, immediately he was like, bitch, and was like in her face. And they
Did you watch this actual clip?
Yes, I watched the clip. You have to watch it.
So funny.
They like, now granted, she was being so rude. It was horrible. And so he was not, but he did not. It was immediately, he right away was in her face, and she was like, security. And they were like removing. It was really funny.
Dude, I'm going to send that to me. I haven't seen that.
That's really funny. But yeah, so I'm interested. I'm interested. I'm hoping that, you know, obviously they're able to move through this graciously. I hope that it, you know, shit doesn't hit the fan too much, even though, again, you know, TV. So I don't know. I think though, I know that you weren't the biggest fan of this episode, but I think this coming episode, I'm very excited. I guess there's a chance that like they're not going to interact with each other, but the fact that Nick and Vanessa Lachey, the god and goddess of Love is Blind, said they're all at the same resort and they don't know, felt like, okay, they're going to see each other and shit's going to get wild. Like I'm banking on this. I'm really banking on it. And I'm really hoping that they show some morning afters after their first night together. Please, Love is Blind, do this for us. Dude, I beg you.
I'm trying to think like who's going to get caught up with other people. Definitely Jessica.
Do you think... I have a feeling... I'm feeling Jessica, obviously. I'm also feeling maybe Damien.
Interesting.
I feel like Damien's going to get really over Giannina. I feel like maybe one of the girls is going to be like, what if
they're both going to be canoodling with other people?
Maybe. I don't know. Now this is if they do canoodle, and if they don't make them actually interact, I will sue, because we need this. We need the Jessica Barnett scene.
I mean, the look at the, like I said before, look at the fucking cover of the Netflix series.
Yeah.
It's the dude holding hand with the other chick on the side. Like they don't make it that cover for nothing.
Oh God.
Some shit's gonna go down.
I'm so excited.
And you better not disappoint me, Netflix. You better not. I'm spending my quarantine time on this show when I could be watching what the fuck's it called? Tiger Love.
King?
Tiger King?
Tiger King?
Tiger King. I could be watching Tiger King, your other Netflix show.
Oh my God. She's getting violent.
I'm going to wake up Ruth. I'm literally screaming in the bedroom.
Tiger King, I'm going to actually, after we get off this call, I'm going to start watching it.
If we weren't quarantined, I'd shake you right now. So I'm going to shake the laptop instead. You must watch it now, immediately. Just you.
I'm so excited.
I've gotten more messages now telling us to recap Tiger King than I did when we posted about doing Love is Blind.
Really?
Oh, everyone's like, recap Tiger King. And you'll understand why.
Okay, honestly, I'm not opposed to it. If this quarantine thing continues long
We're never
enough,
going to get another Bachelor season. Oh, we have
listened to your heart.
I mean,
we have listened to your heart and listen.
My brain's melting.
Listen to your heart. Like, I know, again, everyone's talking shit, but you know this is going to be...
you're saying you're not going to watch now? Yeah,
Listen to Your Heart is going to be the number one watch show on TV. 100%. Everyone's going to be dying to watch it. Also, speaking of that, you and I do need to chat, because now that I know that, like, that for sure listen to your heart, that we're for sure doing Listen to Your Heart in April, and I believe it starts April like 15th or 16th, we may have to do a couple Love is Blind episodes doubling up. So we'll keep you broads.
True.
We'll keep you broads in the loop of if we're going to do a double episode and you got to binge both of the episodes. But we might have to start doubling up on a few, because actually Listen to Your Heart is in a couple weeks it starts.
But that's not going to be 2 episodes a week, right? So can't we do one like Listen to Your Heart Tuesday and Love is Blind Thursday?
That's true. We'll decide if it's too much.
It would only be a couple weeks.
True,
right?
True. Yeah. We'll chat about it. We'll keep you all in the loop.
Yeah.
You guys aren't going anywhere anyways, right? Right?
Dun dun dun.
Right? And speaking of that, we love you all, and if you enjoy this podcast in this time of quarantine, please,
if you like
share.
Tiger King,
if you like Tiger King,
smash 5 stars.
but not even yes, 5 stars, please. But also, if you share and maybe share it with one of your friends. And, the spreading of the love helps us keep the lights on right now.
Spam text your family about the show like I'm spam texting everyone about Tiger King.
Exactly.
Be
Take
like,
that energy.
Chatty Broads, you got to listen to it. I don't care if you don't feel that way. Do it.
Do it now. Do it now.
Do it. Say it. What is it that Dwight does? Do it. Say it. To 10, 9, 8. Or when he does the counting. Sell me the car.
The countdown. Been watching a lot of Office during quarantine, broads. Oh, Lord. Well.
All right. Chat soon, broads. We're out of here.
Chat soon. We love you. Mwah. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Chat soon.
Bye.